Do you ever wake up with garbage anxiety? I do. Living here in New York City, I wake up many times with garbage anxiety. In fact, our day to put our garbage out is Monday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night. And on those nights, I am very anxious and very panicky, and I just cannot relax. I never thought I'd live to see the day when garbage would be complicated for me, but it is, especially here in New York City. Now, when I was a child growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina in the 1950s and the 1960s, I remember the garbage man coming around, and I remember that my daddy, most of the time, my daddy would drag this garbage can out to the curb in front of our house, and then the next day, when the garbage was gone, one of us would drag it back to the backyard and put it under the steps. And that's the way it was. So I never really focused that much on garbage as a child growing up. So it is really interesting to me that at the age of 75, I do have garbage anxiety. Now, that is because here in New York City, at least the part where I live, it is very important to get it right. If you do not get it right, you can be fined. You will get a $50 fine for the first time, a $100 fine for your second time, and a $200 fine, I believe it is, for your third time. So we have gotten fined before, so I don't know, since they started some new rules all over again, if that takes us back all the way back and those other fines are undone. Because if they're going to count the fines from before, then we're already at $200 a fine, and we really haven't started with the new plan yet. Well, you see, the new plan is, you see, in the neighborhood where I live, people would take the garbage, put it in a black bag mostly, and just put it out by the sidewalk. And on the night when your garbage person was due, you'd put the garbage out, and then they'd take your garbage like that. And we had black bags for garbage. Then we had clear plastic bags for paper products. And then it can be clear, but sometimes it's blue. That's what I mean. There's so many things to choose from. It can be a blue bag as long as you can see through it, and that would be your recyclable bottles and things like that in cans. Okay, so, but then there's always something, because then Styrofoam confuses me. I, to this day, am not sure what Styrofoam is. I thought it was something that was made out of plastic and it should go with the plastics. I've been told that is not the case, that it should be considered as garbage, but I don't get that. So I'm always anxious about where to put it. Now, before COVID, you see, we had people who used to come around to check our garbage and actually go in to see if you had put a can in the wrong bag or something like that. And if they thought that things were off, not that you thought they were off, but if they thought you shouldn't have put that item in that bag, then that's when they would write you a ticket. And when you wake up in the morning, there'd be a ticket on your door and you'd have to go to court. Some people love going to court and trying to fight it. Sometimes, to me, it just seems like, okay, time is money, and just do what you have to do to make it go away. But we do get fined very heavily for this stuff. I've had debates with my sister as to whether or not a tissue should go in the garbage or a tissue should go in the paper. And I guess the main question you might be asking or saying to yourself is, well, it depends on what the tissue was used for. So we have debates. We can't decide on what is. It's very nerve-wracking trying to get the garbage right. Since we have been using these bins, we have to use these cans now, which I know in most parts of this country, that's what people use, but it's new to us. And so not everybody has room to store these cans now, and you can't leave the can on the sidewalk, because now you're going to get a ticket for leaving your can out after the garbage man has already gone by. So you got to put the can out, and then you got to bring it in, and wherever you put it, you have to put a chain and lock it, because people do steal garbage cans. And so because since the new garbage can rule came out, me and my sister have not been able to really get that together yet. We have a can, but then you're thinking, well, you got to put it out at a certain time, and then you got to bring it back, and meaning bring it back up the stairs, or find a little place to lock it up downstairs. So what I've been doing is, in order for my garbage to be taken without the bin, now I don't know if this is legal or not, but I actually sleep with one ear and one eye open on garbage night, Monday night. And I hear the truck when it hits my block. And when that truck hits my block, I run and get my coat. I run and get the bags of garbage, and I run out and I look at where they're throwing because when they get the garbage out of the bins, they throw them and make a pile, and then the truck comes and then they just pile everything up. So I look to see where they're making the piles, and that's where I take my bags and I just drop them right where they're, and I actually feel like I'm doing a favor because they don't have to come get my bags. I bring my bags and I drop them in the street where they're piling up all the bags anyway. In fact, one day I was running out and I almost missed the truck, and I'm running with my garbage, and the garbage man actually says, "We got a runner, we got a runner." and they wait till I get over there to throw my garbage down. But that's how I've been doing it. So it's very interesting and very strange about the garbage. Let me tell you about the illusion of recycling that also goes on here in this city. And by the illusion of recycling, I mean just that. I've been in very prestigious establishments and businesses where they have these beautiful garbage cans, and they have 3 holes on top. And it'll say paper, recyclables, bottles, whatever. And so I see people go over to the can, and they're standing there trying to decide what to do with the trash or garbage they have in their hand. And so they say, okay, this is a bottle, so I'm going to put it here. And then somebody will come up and say, oh, I got paper, I'm going to put it right here in the paper slot. But then I lift up the lid. I've literally lifted up the lid to see that there's only one bag in that can. It has 3 holes on the top, but everything is going in one bag. So that's why I say it's an illusion of recycling, because the people think they're actually recycling, but everything's going into one bag. Nothing is being separated. I don't know. I tell you, do you have any garbage horror stories? Oh, let me tell you this one. Are y'all familiar with garbage bombing? That's when somebody just comes down your block, and usually it's somebody they've been drinking, they're at a party, they're having fun, they think it's cute, and so they just kind of like open up bags of garbage, and throw things on the sidewalk. Literally, there are people who will do that. Who knew, right? But they'll do that, throw the garbage, and now, of course, who has to go clean that up? Yeah. Or get a fine. A lot of times these ticket people know that it's not us. They know we're not making our own property all garbagey and stuff, but they still will give us the ticket. They don't write the ticket to the person who's throwing the garbage around. They write it to the person who lives in the building or who owns the building where the garbage isn't all over the sidewalk. In fact, one day there was a ticket writer who actually knew that I was not the person who threw that garbage up and down the sidewalk. Everybody on the block was saying this person right here is the person responsible for all this garbage, but they didn't go after that person. I was told, well, if you clean it up, I won't give you a ticket today. So what am I supposed to do? So those are just some of my garbage horror stories. What are some of your garbage horror stories. You know, that's a phrase that I never thought I'd ever say in life. But if you have a garbage horror story, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.